Today we're doing a comb over, y'all. The comb over is gonna consist of us using clippers, trimmers, gel, wide tooth comb, water spray bottle. All right. First step is to get the hair wet and make sure there's no knots, things like that. Is gonna stop you throughout this process. Now the hair does not have to be completely drowning wet. So for anybody that might be thinking, oh, I gotta wet this whole man, you ain't gotta be soaking wet. This needs to be damp. All right. And after we get this done, we're gonna fall off into the first step, y'all. We're gonna go right off into the very first technique or the very first step that we're gonna do. All right. Now I want to keep this hair relatively long also. So one of the reasons is because we're gonna need these mannequins for quite some time, but we're gonna do a longer style comb over. And yesterday we were talking about the comb over. Really, the comb over resembles older term of a cut, which we learned yesterday in chapter 14, that it was the pompadour. So the pompadour basically is a number 2 could be all the way to a number 4 in length on the side, and the top styled and combed over with a hard part going down either the right or the left side of the temple and the parietal ridge area. All right, so we're gonna jump right off into it. All right. First tool you're gonna need is a wide tooth comb and a pair of clippers. All right. First thing we're gonna do when beginning this fade or this cut is to begin taking length from around the sides, the back occipital bone area on both sides. Now we're gonna keep it relatively long, but I'm gonna show you how you can measure the hair, use your comb, and consistently go down the head without you actually brutalizing this goddamn mannequin. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is, now again, your hair should be a little saturated. I'm gonna make a small part right here in the parietal ridge, and I'm gonna try to comb as much of the hair over as possible so I can give myself a clear canvas for this first side that I'm gonna start on. Notice how I lean the head a little bit to the side. That's to make sure that the hair kind of stays that way without me having to get a clip or anything like that. All right, now with some mannequins, you might have a difficult time doing this, only because these mannequins are pretty much, the hair can be sewn in different directions. Some mannequin hair grows to the back, some mannequin hair grows to the side. It just really depends on what mannequin you have. All right. Let me stop right there for 1 second. If you're right-handed, be prepared to use both of your hands at the same time. It's gonna feel a little awkward, but I want you to go step by step as slow as possible, because technique is more important right now than the cut. If you're doing proper technique, when we get to the end, the cut will be exactly what it's supposed to be. Now I'm gonna separate the bottom of where I believe the hair is from the beard. Now this beard gonna kind of throw you off a little bit. What I'm gonna do right now, because we're gonna get to the beard, but I don't want the beard to interfere with my technique or what I'm gonna show you as clip over comb. So I'm gonna cut just the very top of that mannequin hair, kind of not bald, but just enough kind of free-handed, so I won't pick it up when I pick up the side hair. Now when I comb, all I'm picking up is the hair that I need to cut. I just took off a very little section off the side of the beard. If y'all want to do the same, if you don't have hair on your mannequin's face, that's probably even better. All right. First things first. I'm using my left hand with the teeth facing up. I'm gonna go underneath the hair, starting at the bottom. And you're gonna probably use both of your hands. As you can see, I'm using my right hand to kind of lift the hair. When I lift the hair, this is how much hair we're cutting off. I only want to cut off about, let me see. Let's cut off about 3 inches. And let's see if 3 inches is gonna make the hair kind of lay, all right? Now 3 inches should be in front of your comb. Look at your comb, make sure your comb is going horizontal to the angle that the head is on. If you have your head leaning to the side, and hold the hair out at a 90-degree angle. Turn on your clippers. Make sure with I believe the middle finger is about 3 inches. So if you take your middle finger and you touch the comb, and your hair should reach all the way to almost the palm of your hand, that'll let you know that you're at 3 inches. That's how much hair we're cutting off. First thing I'm gonna do, freehand with the lever closed, I'm gonna go across that length and comb the hair down. It should sit up kind of exactly the way you want it to sit up. Everybody see that? Did everybody achieve something similar to what you see? All right. Now what we're gonna do, if you did that first section correctly, you should kind of see the neckline a little bit, right? Now, this section that we just cut is really gonna be our guide for moving around this entire head. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab the hair from the neckline as much as I can with some of the previous hair that I cut. And the reason why I'm doing that is because at the end of your comb, you're gonna pull the comb out to the very end of the previous section that should be in your comb that you cut. That's gonna be your guide to keep moving. Now I'm gonna make my next cut. Comb down. You should start seeing some type of angle that's coming when you're doing this cut, all right? Show y'all what I look like right now. This is kind of what I look like right now with the head standing straight up, all right? It's still relatively long. It's not super short, all right? If you're super short, then, you know, you might have missed a step. All right, next, stand the head completely up. Once you get that side, try to stand your head to where it's sitting straight up, because now we're about to move across the back of the neckline, all right? And it's gonna be important for all the hair to fall at a 0-degree angle, all right? Because it's kind of sort of like a soft, blunt look, but holding the hair out at a 90-degree angle, it is gonna end up being a layered cut. So now I'm at the neckline, right? I'm at the neckline. Same thing. You should be able to position the mannequin so you can see your last cut, and we're gonna take a section and add it to what been previously cut. Keep in mind, this comb is very important because you're going around the neckline. So as you go around the neckline, you need to turn the comb as you pull it. As you pull the comb, think about, okay, the neckline has a vertical line across the bottom. So I need to be able to grab the hair, the previously cut hair, including a small section of the hair. Don't try to grab all the hair in the back of the neck, because all that's gonna do is make it a little bit more difficult and confusing for you, all right? Once you get the hair pulled out at a 90, and it's right where that previous hair from the previous section was cut, you're gonna make your next cut going across the back of the neck, all right? Comb that down. Now you may have to do it 2 or 3 times, because you're gonna see, maybe, depending on your mannequin's hair, you're gonna have a small section that you may have missed that's closer to the neckline. You're gonna do that the same exact way that you did everything else. And the reason why we doing this, y'all, is because we're trying to set the canvas up so we can see the haircut, so we can see where we're gonna start. This is not the cut. This is the starting point to get this long hair guy prepared, all right? Now, if you're able to, or if you have already, fine, take a look up here at what I'm doing, and you'll see that as I go across the back of the mannequin's neck, it's starting to round, sort of. It's kind of going to the contour of what the mannequin head is shaped as, all right? We're gonna do this around the entire head. When you're done, stop. We're gonna connect what we did in the back, on the side to the back. Now we have to keep in mind the occipital bone. I'm gonna start my comb on the side where I stopped and hold it out at an angle. This gets everything that's on the neckline. Once I move too far into the back, I'll kind of turn the mannequin. I'll stand behind the mannequin so I can have a good look on what the back is supposed to look like. Let me do a little bit more work on my side over here too. And don't look, once you go over it one time, right? And you go back and check your work like you start over, you're gonna see what's uneven. Because you're gonna pull out the hair and most of it, like look, when I pull the hair up, most of it should be even. If it's not even, you're gonna see something like that. And that's gonna let you know, oh yeah, I gotta go on and get that spot because that's the spot that I probably missed. Now, when you get to the back, let me show everybody this so you don't go too high. The occipital bone. This cut needs to round and stay thick around the occipital bone. Not super thick, but you don't want to take this fade, this clip over comb all the way up here. Because this hair needs to blend over into the cut when it's combed. So, I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to go across the neckline. I'm going to start low. And my guide is here. My guide is on the side that I just cut. It's on the outside of the neckline. I'm making sure everything is even, but sitting kind of right on the occipital bone. Now I'm gonna go through the stuff that I already cut and kind of fix what I can. Clip over comb is just taking off lint, y'all. It's don't. So when you start envisioning the comb over, you want to envision a comb over with the hair style to the side that is naturally falling. How many of y'all, like, I look, she has a natural 1, 2, 3. Yours kind of going to that side. Look like everybody's hair is probably going to the left side of their man's head, right? So that's gonna be the natural fall, which is great. But you're gonna have some folks that's not gonna come in with that. They're gonna come in with the hair might be a little bit tighter, a little bit more frizzy or damaged. Then you have to go through those processes of treating their hair and, you know, putting a little protein and keratin in it to make sure that it will turn into what it wants to turn. That's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. What you see Sydney has is exactly what I was going for. All right, now here's the next thing. Same tools. Comb, shears. You can start on either side that you're comfortable on. We have to locate and we don't have to make any partings, but you have to remember what a parietal ridge is. Also, you need to remember that the hair needs to comb over. So when we start this next process, this hair that we're gonna need to comb over is gonna kind of, you know, if you cut too much off of it, when you try to do the comb over, the hair is just gonna be standing up and it's not gonna look like a comb over. So the way we're gonna hold this comb while we're going up the side of the head is gonna ensure that we keep enough hair to comb over. Instead of holding the comb at a vertical angle when pulling up the hair, you're gonna start taking the comb and pulling it out at a 45 or a 90-degree angle and cutting, all right? And before you get to the parietal ridge, you're gonna stop. So I'm gonna show you what I mean, all right? Now, my comb will be sitting flat up against the mannequin's head. When I pull the hair out and angle it at a 45-degree angle or 90, this is more of a 45, I'm gonna begin my cut. The reason why you hold the comb at that angle is because as we move up, it's gonna create an angle. I'm gonna go to my next section of the hair and do the same thing. Now my clippers, I don't know why they're cutting like this, but they normally run through some hair. I'm gonna go up the side of the head by holding the comb at an angle until I reach my desired spot that I know I'm gonna keep that hair for my comb over. The key is holding the comb out at that 45 to 90-degree angle. That's gonna be the key. As you move up, you'll see exactly what you're starting to create. Now you may have to do this a couple of times, like myself, because again, this mannequin hair is not the best. But this is where you want to make sure that a blend is coming as well. All right. We go, watch. I know you were just trying to see. I'm holding the comb here. Now, another thing I'm doing that the cameras can't see, because I need to be stable with the comb as well, I'm using my pinky to kind of anchor me on the side of his head. So as I move the comb, I can stabilize it as I move up, because my hands shake a little bit.
In like stable position?
Yeah. All right.
So how far are we going into this? What do you say?
You should leave 2 inches.
Okay.
You should leave 2 inches, maybe a little bit long. Look at, if you go over the parallel ridge, see this hair right here? This hair, if you cut this, meaning you done went too high, boom, all the hair will be standing up. It's no longer gonna be a comb over, all right? All right, now we're gonna finish getting out that bulk line that we created when we did the clip over comb. As you can see, I did it on this side and in the back. I use thinning shears and an all-purpose wide tooth comb. Come back to the side that I did not touch, which is right here, and begin. I'm combing the hair. I'm combing the hair completely up, and I'm not stopping. When you're using thinning shears, when you stop in the cut, all you're doing is creating the guideline. So don't stop. If you stop and you keep looking at it, you're gonna notice that a guideline is continually getting deeper and not moving. You have to use the shears and the comb like you would be using a pair of clippers in the comb. You know you're gonna move the comb up or move it to the left or the right. So you gotta do the shears the same exact thing. What I'm gonna use for styling today is a little gel. This is a Masters cannabis gel. I'm gonna put a nice little amount in my hand, because it's gonna go through the entire head. Using my fingers, I'm gonna go in and kind of start spreading the gel evenly throughout the hair, on the sides and on the top, especially on the inside. I have a lot of gel on my hands, so I should be able to get all of the hair pretty much saturated with that gel. After I get it saturated, I'm gonna begin to comb. All right, I'm gonna comb everything back down in place. If the hair is not having any gel in it, you'll probably feel some knots. So if you have any more gel on your hands, just kind of wipe that in there. I'm gonna find my hard part, which is about right here. And I'm gonna comb the hair into that direction that the comb over is gonna be on.
Yeah, I can still some gel.
Yeah, another thing is, I'm gonna pull up in the front and comb over so it'll have a little lift on it. Just a little lift. Now I only have this comb, so I'm using the corner of the comb to kind of pull the hair into place. If you didn't get a good fade on your comb over, then you're probably gonna have a thick line showing as soon as you put that gel in there. But this is my comb over. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe.